It's been a while since the Let's Storm event has dropped, and of course, everyone is wondering whether or not the event rewards are worth it. And in today's video, we're going to be covering one of such rewards. This is actually the Winchester 1866. This is essentially one of the most iconic weapons thanks to the Wild West, and it's only available for the Americans at BR1, which is already pretty good if you ask me. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Model 1866 Winchester rifle. So without further ado, let's get started, starting with the history. The first Winchester rifle, the Winchester 1866, was originally chambered for a rimfire 44 Henry, nicknamed quite literally the Yellow Boy because of the receiver of the bronze bass alloy. Basically, if you see the gun itself, there's a thing called yellow on it. Even though I'm colorblind, you can still see it. It's because of the receiver is bronze, and that's why it's quote-unquote Yellow Boy. The lever action also makes it a repeating rifle, meaning that all you have to do is to do the lever, and then bang, next comes a shot. This means that the user is able to fire a number of shots before having to reload. One of the designers, Nelson King, then improved the patient's flaws in the Henry rifle by incorporating the loading gate on the side of the frame that essentially made it better. The French purchased 6,000 of these along with $4.5 million in dollars worth of 44 Henry cartridges during the Franco-Prussian War. The Ottomans actually purchased 45,000 of these and about 5,000 carbines of other weapons from 1870 to 1871, and they were used in the 1877 Russo-Turkish War, causing much damage to the Russians at the siege of Plemba. To make it more effective, the effect of the 1866 rifle eventually led the Russians to adopt the Mosin, and eventually led other European countries to want to develop more of these weapons. The Swiss army then decided to select the 1866 to replace their existing rifle. However, political tensions led to them incorporating their own rifle, so that's damn it. Due to a public demand, the 1866 was continued to be manufactured and sold until 1899, mainly because it was less expensive than the steel frame center-fired model, so that's great because once again it's made out of brass and hence why it's called Yellow Boy. But let's move on to the stats because there is nothing much we can talk about. Starting with the stats, the hit power is 10.2 and that's pretty decent if you ask me. The rate of fire of 240 is also pretty decent and has a 10-round magazine, and the most important part is that this thing is at BR1. For those who don't understand, let's move on to the recap section. Like I said in my other previous video about whether this event squad is insane, this event weapon is pretty good. And to be exact, this is almost borderline insane. For one, the hit power of 10.2 at close range means that you can almost pretty much down everybody, and you don't even really have to kill them until you're finished killing off the other squad mates, so that's good. The 10-round magazine also means that you're going to be pretty good, and essentially it's going to be semi-automatic, which is good, because for those who don't know, this gun, although its quote-unquote firing mode is considered manual, it is almost like a semi-automatic weapon if you ask me, and I think it's very good, and it's almost as good as some semi-automatic weapons. This is not to mention the fact that this is at BR1, meaning that most of the people you're going to be fighting against don't really even know how to play the game, much less don't know really how to deal with this thing. And considering the fact that this has a hit power of 10.2, it is very good and probably will down every single person before you even have a chance, assuming that you aim for the head or for the chest. And if you aim for head, of course, they die, so yeah, good. To recap, this gun is very cool, and this gun is very good. In my personal opinion, this is almost a must-get, except for the fact that, once again, yes, everyone is going to be screaming at me, this is going to be locked behind a paywall, quite literally. You can only technically get 2 of these, but these 2 are very, very good, and in my opinion, it is almost as good as some of the BR3 semi-automatic rifles, not to mention the current BR1 bolt-action rifles that the Americans have. The only issue is the fact that if a dude has vitality, you need 2 shots, but it's also very decent. A very good, interesting niche that I suggest you guys use is the fact that whereas other guns you really don't want to reload until you use all of your rounds, the Winchester 1866 is quite literally the opposite. If you have a chance, reload. The reason is because you can stop your reload and just keep firing. The only issue is that if you use all your 10 rounds, the reloading process is going to be harder. So unless you have something like very, very urgent, I don't suggest that you fire all 10 rounds, don't reload, and continue firing all 10 rounds. What I suggest you do is to fire 1 or 2 rounds, and if there's no enemy there, reload, fire, reload, reload, fire, and goes on. Literally, this is essentially a repeating rifle, and it's actually pretty unique. As a matter of fact, in history, this is very unique, and in game, this is one of the most unique weapons in game as of right now. So without further ado, this is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Highly suggest that you get this rifle, and have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.